Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Now, this Monster Hunter. Now, I finally got a chance to watch it. It was good. It had its parts. So it was real surprising. I really didn't think it was gonna be decent or good at all, you know, because usually the Mila Jovovich's films are really terrible. The Resident Evil, the first one was okay, but and the next one was, you know, not so good. I mean, as a whole trilogy, it was terrible. Now, Monster Hunter is after the video game, which you've had a lot of them over the years. I never played it, but from what people tell me, you know, people love it. It's basically a franchise centered around a series of fantasy themed action role playing video games that started with the game Monster Hunter for PlayStation 2. The first release was the regular Monster Hunter on PS2. And basically you're going around, I believe, hunting monsters or that. So some fans are saying it was a great game, and then they had Monster Hunter after that, Rising. So it's a video game series. I think it's sort of like Final Fantasy almost. I may be wrong. If you've played Monster Hunter the game, let me know. I'm not real familiar with it. You know, I wasn't a huge role-playing game fan. So I'm not going to lie to you guys. You know, well, let's get to the movie. And this is a spoiler. If you haven't seen the movie, you can you know, you guys can click off now, because I don't want to ruin it for you. It was a okay movie. I mean, I say it had its parts. The thing is this, to me, it's like you basically killed off, you know, everybody in the beginning. Basically, you see Tony Jaa, who's the hunter, and you see him with his crew, Ron Perlman playing the Admiral. You see them, you know, trying to go to the tower and dismantle it, and they're attacked by these creatures who basically, you know, are like sharks in the sand, if that makes any sense. You know, some people are, you know, like how sharks are in water, they're the sharks of the sand, I look at it as. And basically their ship gets wrecked, and Tony Jaa gets separated from his people. So then we go to Mila Jovovich character, which is Natalie, and she's a square, so she looked like a Natalie, a straight square to me. They basically are in their unit. T.I.'s one of the soldiers, and then you got Megan Good as one of the soldiers, and I don't know why they were here. I agree with Carcino on Screen Fiend. Make sure you go to his movie channel, subscribe to Screen Fiend and his other channels and the Patreon. I just did not understand why T.I. and Megan Good were in this. They were so underutilized, and so was the group. To me, they killed off her unit too fast. You should have gave them some time and then, killed them off. I felt like they could have let them, stay alive and then mix with the other group when they found Tony Jaa there, and then all of them go together to try to fight, and then you have one battle scene where they're getting picked off at the end. That's what I would have done. I would have saved the characters till the end or during some parts of the middle and getting rid of them. To me, basically, you already knew Mila was going to be the only one to survive that unit. You could just tell from the beginning that the dialogue and how things were going, you already knew. My thing is, you killed 2 black people off, but you let the other people, the Asians and the white guys, stay alive. But let me stop, because people are going to be like, oh, you're trying to be racist and all of this. And it's like, no, I'm not trying to be. It's just facts. The monsters looked great. I give the monsters a 4 out of 4. They looked it perfect. They did their job, especially those spiders. How they, that was nasty when one of the eggs was hatched to T.I. and then it hatched and it just ate them up. And, she escaped out of there. And what she realized is these spider things are basically allergic to the sun. The sun they don't like being out in the daytime. It kind of reminds me, what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Pitch Black a little bit. How the monsters, didn't like the daytime, but when it's nighttime, they come out. So that's what it reminded me of, Pitch Black a lot. A poor man's Pitch Black. And Tony Jaa, of course, tried to warn them early by firing a red type of flare, and they took it as him attacking, and then they just started shooting. And to me, that part there, them shooting, that's a normal reaction. They're in the army and they have to be up. Their defenses have to be up. So that was cool. Now, the monster basically that was in the sand, I forgot the name of it. Like I said, it's very forgettable. It was good, but it's forgettable. It's not, like I said, if you played the game, let me know, because I've never played the game. I have to ask my brother, Marlon. Marlon knows. I think he played the game. Me, I never played the game. I just heard it was decent. But it was interesting, but and then once the army, once they were able to get by the caves and stuff, that's when they found the spider things. The spider things poisoned all of them. And then, Mila escaped. Everybody else was dead. Megan Good was losing her head in the cave. But you knew they were going to make the black woman. They were going to make her or the black guy crazy and lose their mind. So then Mila finds Tony Jaa. They square off. They fight for a little bit where he first beat her and ties her up. Then she escapes, beat him up. Does vice versa to him, and then they started working with each other. Once she just said, I don't want to fight no more, gave him the candy bar. And then that was the running joke. Hershey's chocolate. I'm like, wow, okay. That was so funny because they both didn't understand each other, but they understood each other. This is what I liked about it. Two people, different language barriers, but even though you don't understand what the other person is saying, as long as you could demonstrate, show hand signals, and it shows you the universal ways of communications, and they used a lot of communications, hand signals, facial expressions, body language, and everything. Body language and a lot of that stuff played a real huge part in this movie. And sometimes they would have to be silent, like when you're on the land. If you're not moving on the sand, the monster doesn't really attack you. So they both came up with a plan before heading out, is to get some poison and use that poison to practically beat that beast, so then they could get further along. And it worked, but Tony Jaa ended up getting hurt and dismantled, so he was out of it. She nursed him back to health. He was having dreams of basically his family, I think his daughter and son and all that. And the figures that he was praying and talking to, that basically was a prayer for his children, I believe, or him praising to his God. So that was interesting. And they finally met up with Rod Perlman and them. They were on Oasis, and all of a sudden, she went to the water, a creature hopped out, and Jaa killed it and basically joked with her, bait, your bait. And then she just she just gave him a middle finger and stuff, and he was laughing, and they cooked it, they ate it, and then a dragon was burning everything up, and the dragon looked good. I liked how they did the dragon, and then they did the other dragon at the end. That was raw. So basically, the centerpiece, which is the tower, I think it's the tower or whatever, it projected lightning, and what that lightning was doing, it was opening portals in different parts of time, different places of her world and their world was mixing together. And at first she was kidnapped, she was tied up in chains again, and Ron Perlman, she escaped, bumped into the cat, a walking, talking cat. She was shocked. And then the cat flirted with her and everything, winked at her, and she was laughing at that part. But Ron, that part there, I hated. Like, why would you lock her up when she just saved your guy? Then all of a sudden you just punch her, and then you lock her up. Now she gets free again. Now she's working with you. That was just stupid to me. You could have cut that out. You could have just kept them on the same page. We didn't need her to get locked up again. Like, we already been there. It's over with. She done gained the trust of the guy. Should have been over with. Should have been friendly. Now, the other part, when she was fighting the dragon and everything, she remembered the key part. Ron Perlman said whenever the dragon's about to breathe, that's when the dragon is vulnerable. So, and then she fell through the portal, the time portals, and ended up back on her time in her place. And then the dragon found one of those wormholes and crossed over and just annihilated the army. And then Ron Perlman and them came through to help her because, she was holding her own, and then she was about to die, and then she got saved again. And then all of a sudden, the world opened back up again, and she has her weapon. Jaa had his, Perlman had his. So then they all attacked the dragon. Basically, it looks like it might be a part 2. We got to see how the numbers are for this movie. To me, I'll give the movie 2.5 out of 4 stars. It's watchable, but it's very forgettable. To me, I just felt like they underutilized T.I., Megan Good, and the other soldiers, Diego Boneta, I think that was. Um, they underutilized the soldiers in the beginning. I felt you could have did more with her team. You just got rid of them all like that quick. It was like a waste of time. Like, why did you even put them in there? You just should have had them. You just should have never had that much of a unit. You should have just had her and a couple other people. But you knew they were going to kill off her unit. You just felt it. It was, but you're going to kill her unit off with 2 black people, but you're going to let the other unit live with nothing but Asians and white people and then a damn cat. So, I mean, I'm sorry, y'all may be like, man, you trying to make this racial. No, I mean, it's just the truth. The racial undertone was all over the place. It's like, dude, if you're not going to use T.I. or Megan Good, just leave them out. Just leave that part out. To me, and this is Paul W.S. Anderson's type of movies. Like, there'll be action in it, but they don't make any sense. It's senseless action. Some parts be good of his storytelling, but then it gets lazy. Like, I just don't understand. Like, you had her go back to her world. Why? Why would she fall through the portal into her world? Then all of a sudden, the dragon comes through, destroy them. Then the guys escape. They kill the dragon, and another dragon appears. It's like, okay, then what was the point of killing that dragon? I mean, I'm lost. Like, wasn't that the dragon, the protector? Now all of a sudden, there's another dragon that pops up. It's like, okay. The writing was terrible to me. It was 1 hour and 44 minutes, and it was real short. I think this movie should have been at least 2 hours. If you could have made it 2 hours, I think you could have added those people in the beginning more in it. This is 2.5 to me out of 4. I did not like it at all. I just, I don't like it at all, man. I felt it could have been better, and it wasn't. It basically let me down. So let me know in the comment section, how do you feel, about the movie? I give it 2.5 out of 4. It was easily forgettable. You missed nothing. Thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share this, hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if you like what you hear, you can donate to the page by Cash Apping me at the word welcome, the number 2, and an HDII TV. Thank you for listening, and we're out. Deezy.